In the annals of history, few figures have ignited as much controversy, passion, and world-changing impact as Karl Marx. A philosopher, economist, and revolutionary, Marx's ideas sparked revolutions, reshaped nations, and continue to influence global politics and economics to this day. But who was the man behind the Manifesto? What drove him to challenge the very foundations of society? And how did his theories, born in the 19th century, come to dominate much of the 20th and still echo loudly in the 21st? We'll explore the complex life and legacy of Karl Marx. From his rebellious youth to his revolutionary partnership with Friedrich Engels, from his groundbreaking theories to the dark undertones in his personal writings, we'll uncover the many facets of this controversial figure. Drawing insights from the author and Professor Paul Kengor's book, The Devil and Karl Marx, we'll also delve into the lesser-known aspects of Marx's life and ideology, including his views on religion and the surprising influence of satanic themes in his early works. Whether you see Marx as a visionary prophet of social justice or a misguided architect of totalitarian regimes, this exploration will challenge your preconceptions and deepen your understanding of one of history's most influential thinkers. So, fasten your seatbelts as we embark on a journey through the life, ideas, and lasting impact of Karl Marx. It's a story of revolution, philosophy, and the power of ideas to change the world. Karl Heinrich Marx was born on May 5, 1818, in Trier, in the Kingdom of Prussia, now part of modern-day Germany. His father, Heinrich Marx, was a successful lawyer who converted from Judaism to Lutheranism, a decision that would significantly shape Karl's upbringing and education. From a young age, Marx exhibited a keen intellect and a rebellious spirit. As a teenager, Marx attended the Trier High School, where he showed a particular interest in literature and philosophy. He was deeply influenced by the works of German philosopher G.W.F. Hegel. This early exposure to Hegelian dialectics, which emphasizes the conflict and resolution of opposites, would later become a cornerstone of Marx's own theoretical framework. Marx's early writings, including his poetry and essays, reflect a passionate and often tumultuous spirit. At the University of Bonn, and later at the University of Berlin, Marx became involved with the Young Hegelians, a group of radical thinkers who sought to apply Hegelian ideas to critique religion and politics. One of Marx's influential professors, Bruno Bauer, was a key figure in this group. Bauer's atheistic and critical stance on religion profoundly influenced Marx, steering him away from his Christian roots and towards atheism. Marx's poetry and early writings often contained dark and rebellious themes. In one of his poems, Marx wrote, "Thus heaven I've forfeited, I know it full well. My soul, once true to God, is chosen for hell." These lines reflect his inner turmoil and evolving views on religion and society. Marx's disillusionment with religion and his developing revolutionary ideas set the stage for his later works. His collaboration with Friedrich Engels and the publication of their key works would soon bring him to the forefront of intellectual and political movements across Europe. In 1844, Karl Marx met Friedrich Engels, a fellow German revolutionary, in Paris. This meeting marked the beginning of a lifelong partnership and collaboration. Engels, the son of a wealthy textile manufacturer, provided Marx with both intellectual companionship and financial support, allowing him to focus on his writings and political activities. Together, Marx and Engels co-authored the Communist Manifesto, published in 1848. This short but powerful pamphlet laid out the basic principles of communism and called for the working class to rise up against the bourgeoisie. The famous opening line, "A specter is haunting Europe, the specter of communism," captured the revolutionary spirit of the time and galvanized workers across the continent. The Communist Manifesto was followed by Marx's magnum opus, Das Kapital, the first volume of which was published in 1867. In this work, Marx delved deep into the workings of capitalism, analyzing its inherent contradictions and predicting its eventual downfall. He argued that the capitalist system was fundamentally exploitative, as it relied on the surplus value generated by workers who were paid less than the value of their labor. Marx's ideas quickly gained traction among intellectuals and activists, particularly in the wake of the failed revolutions of 1848, which highlighted the limitations of the existing political structures. His writings provided a theoretical framework for understanding the economic and social forces at play and offered a vision for a more just and equitable society. With his groundbreaking works and the support of a growing movement, Karl Marx established himself as a leading thinker and activist. His theories of historical materialism, class struggle, and the critique of capitalism would go on to shape the course of history in profound ways. Marx's theory of historical materialism posited that the material conditions of a society's mode of production fundamentally determine its organization and development. According to Marx, history is a series of class struggles, with each epoch defined by the conflict between the oppressors and the oppressed. Central to Marx's critique of capitalism was the concept of surplus value. He argued that capitalists, who own the means of production, exploit workers by paying them less than the value of their labor. This exploitation leads to the accumulation of capital and wealth by the bourgeoisie, while the proletariat remains impoverished. Marx's vision for a communist society involved the abolition of private property and the establishment of a classless, stateless society. In such a society, the means of production would be owned collectively, and the wealth generated would be distributed according to need. The revolutionary ideas espoused by Marx and Engels resonated with many, leading to significant social and political changes. However, these ideas also sparked considerable controversy and opposition. Marxism had a profound impact on labor movements and revolutions around the world. The Russian Revolution of 1917, led by Lenin and the Bolsheviks, was heavily influenced by Marxist theory. The establishment of the Soviet Union marked the first large-scale attempt to implement Marxist principles in practice. Marxism-Leninism became the guiding ideology of the Soviet Union and later spread to other countries, including China, Cuba, and various nations in Eastern Europe and Southeast Asia. These regimes sought to transform their societies according to Marxist principles, often through radical and sometimes violent means. While Marxism found a foothold in various revolutionary movements, it also permeated intellectual and cultural circles in the West, influencing a wide range of fields. In the West, Marxist ideas were embraced by various cultural and intellectual movements. The Frankfurt School, a group of German philosophers and social theorists, developed the concept of cultural Marxism, which applied Marxist analysis to cultural and social phenomena. They argued that cultural institutions and ideologies play a crucial role in maintaining the power structures of capitalism. Marxism also influenced the New Left movements of the 1960s and 1970s, which sought to address issues of race, gender, and environmentalism alongside traditional class struggles. However, these movements also faced significant opposition and criticism from conservative and liberal thinkers who argued that Marxism was inherently flawed and dangerous. Despite the fall of many Marxist regimes, the legacy of Karl Marx continues to shape contemporary political and social thought. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in Marxist ideas, particularly in the wake of global financial crises and growing economic inequality. Modern Marxists argue that the fundamental issues identified by Marx, exploitation, alienation, and inequality, remain relevant today. However, the influence of Marxism extends beyond economics and politics. Cultural Marxism, though often a contentious and misunderstood term, has been used to describe the impact of Marxist ideas on fields such as education, media, and the arts. Critics argue that these ideas undermine traditional values and institutions, while proponents believe they offer valuable insights into the dynamics of power and oppression. To understand the full scope of Marx's influence, it's essential to delve into his personal life, his views on religion, and some of his lesser-known writings. Karl Marx's personal life was marked by financial difficulties, health problems, and personal tragedies. Despite his intellectual achievements, Marx often struggled to support his family. He relied heavily on the financial assistance of his friend and collaborator, Friedrich Engels. Marx's views on religion were complex and deeply critical. He famously referred to religion as the opium of the people, arguing that it served to placate the oppressed by providing illusory comfort. This critique was influenced by his early exposure to the radical atheism of Bruno Bauer, as well as his own experiences with the contradictions and hypocrisies of organized religion. Interestingly, Marx's early poetry and writings contain references to Satan and themes of rebellion and destruction. Some biographers have argued that these writings reflect a deeply conflicted and tumultuous inner life. However, these aspects of Marx's work are often excluded from mainstream biographies, perhaps because they complicate the narrative of Marx as a purely rational and scientific thinker. Marx's ability to craft compelling slogans and rallying cries was a significant factor in his influence. However, some critics argue that his slogans often masked a lack of practical solutions. Marx was a master of rhetoric, and his works are filled with memorable slogans and phrases. Workers of the world unite, from the Communist Manifesto, and from each according to his ability to each according to his needs, from his later writings, have become iconic expressions of Marxist ideology. However, critics argue that Marx's slogans often lacked practical substance. While he was adept at diagnosing the problems of capitalism, his prescriptions for a communist society were vague and utopian. This gap between rhetoric and reality became apparent in the attempts to implement Marxist principles in various countries, often with disastrous results. One controversial aspect of Marx's writings is his references to Satan and themes of destruction. These writings have been interpreted in various ways, and their influence on his overall work is a topic of debate. In his early writings, Marx often explored themes of rebellion and destruction, sometimes invoking satanic imagery. For example, in his poem, The Pale Maiden, Marx writes, "Thus heaven I forfeited. I know it full well. My soul, once true to God, is chosen for hell." These lines suggest a deliberate rejection of religious salvation and an embrace of a more nihilistic worldview. Some scholars, including Paul Kengor, argue that Karl Marx's writings indicate a deeper, more malevolent influence on his ideology. They suggest that Marx's fascination with destruction and chaos may have fueled his revolutionary fervor and his desire to dismantle existing social structures. Cultural Marxism is another significant aspect of Marx's legacy, extending his ideas beyond economics into the realm of culture and society. This concept was developed by thinkers associated with the Frankfurt School, such as Theodor Adorno, Max Horkheimer, and Herbert Marcuse. They argued that culture and ideology play crucial roles in maintaining the power structures of capitalism. According to cultural Marxists, institutions such as the family, education, and media perpetuate dominant ideologies that serve the interests of the ruling class. By challenging these institutions and promoting alternative perspectives, cultural Marxists aim to undermine the cultural foundations of capitalism. This approach has influenced a wide range of academic disciplines, including sociology, literary theory, and cultural studies. However, it has also been the subject of significant controversy and criticism. Critics argue that cultural Marxism undermines traditional values and institutions, while proponents believe it offers valuable insights into the dynamics of power and oppression. The influence of Marxist ideas extends far beyond political revolutions and academic theories. Over the past century, Marxism has permeated various fields, including education, media, and the arts. This infiltration has led to significant changes in how these fields operate and how they shape public consciousness. In education, Marxist ideas have influenced curricula and teaching methods, promoting critical thinking and challenging traditional narratives. In media, Marxist critiques of capitalism and consumer culture have shaped journalism, film, and literature. In the arts, Marxist themes of class struggle and social justice have inspired countless works and movements. However, this widespread influence has also sparked considerable backlash. Critics argue that the infiltration of Marxist ideas into these fields has led to a decline in traditional values and an increase in social and political polarization. They claim that Marxist-inspired ideologies promote division and conflict rather than unity and progress. This echoes themes found in Goethe's Faust, where the protagonist, in his quest for ultimate knowledge and power, makes a pact with the devil, leading to personal and moral destruction. This story highlights the dangers of pursuing grand ideals without considering the ethical and societal consequences. Furthermore, the biblical story of Cain and Abel, the first victim and victimizer narrative, serves as a poignant illustration of how envy and the desire for dominance can lead to violence and division. Cain, driven by jealousy and resentment towards his brother Abel, ultimately commits the first murder, fracturing the familial bond and introducing conflict into human relationships. This story parallels the destructive potential of ideologies that emphasize class struggle and division over unity and reconciliation. In conclusion, Karl Marx's life and work have had a profound and lasting impact on the world. From his early writings and revolutionary theories to his influence on modern and cultural Marxism, Marx's ideas continue to shape political, social, and cultural landscapes. Understanding the complexities and controversies surrounding his legacy is essential for anyone seeking to grasp the dynamics of contemporary society. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Karl Marx's life and legacy. If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. This is Elliot, signing off.